Hey guys, Keith here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. My mom told me the other night that she kind of gave me some rules a little bit about women I can't bring home. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this lately, but I'm 60 years old. I probably didn't have to mention that. You probably could tell a little bit, but you can tell I'm over 15, right? I'm over 16. I'm over 17. I don't live at my mom. I'm in a basement, but I'm not in my mom's basement. Okay, I own this basement. It's my house, right? I live 800 miles from my mom. Okay, and dad. But here she is telling me who I can date and who I can't. Now she's not trying to tell me I can or can't. She just didn't want me to bring them home, and that's really not changed any, to be honest with you. Because when I was younger, she didn't like people, the girls I dated back then. And so nothing's really changed a whole lot. Okay, but she gave me, kind of some, guidelines the other night, and I'm like, really, and it kind of hacked me off. I'll be honest with you, but because I'm just like, I think we're kind of beyond that. I think, you're beyond telling me what I can and can't do, right? But so anyway, I'm gonna give you a rundown. Somebody asked me in one of the comments, what kind of women my mom doesn't like. Now, again, this is not women I don't like, so don't get me wrong. I think a person should like who they like, and it doesn't matter what that person looks like. It doesn't, I don't care. I don't get into the whole even gender thing. I don't, I think people should like who they like. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I'm gonna like who I like, and I think you should like who you like, and it doesn't matter. But uh, you know, color, race, nationality. My mom doesn't think those should mix at all. All right, I mean, she just doesn't. And even I even asked her, like, have you had problems with any of these people? If you had problems with other nationalities, other colors of women, I mean, have you? Well, no, I really don't know any. I'm like, okay, so why does it matter? Well, I just don't, you know. And she didn't have a reason, I don't even think she's racist so much. It's just she doesn't think that you know they should intermingle. I guess I don't know, but to me, I don't think it matters. I think if you like somebody, you like them, and then you fall in love with them, you fall in love with them, and you want to be together. That's between you and another person. We talked about age gaps. I don't think it matters what the age is. I mean, if it doesn't matter to you and her or her and him, whatever you're with, it doesn't matter. Then age shouldn't matter. Color shouldn't matter. Race shouldn't matter. Culture shouldn't matter. I mean, if you're okay with it, religion shouldn't matter. Uh, Political parties shouldn't matter. If you're okay with what they are and how they look, and they're okay with you, then you know have at it. That's your business. In other words, it's not my business. I can't judge you, and you shouldn't judge me, and my mom shouldn't judge me at all. I mean, it's like nobody should tell us who we can date and who we can't, right? So that's one of the things. Tattoos. She don't like tattoos. So if women's got tattoos, that's a ooh. She don't like tattoos on guys either. It's not like she doesn't like long hair and a beard on a guy. So I mean, she's very old school. Maybe I guess you might say, but I mean, a lot of men had beards back in the day, and long hair even some of them. So I don't know, but she just has this thing, and if they look a certain way, they're she didn't like it. So it's not just women. It's not just women, but it's just that's who I happen to be attracted to as women. So, but yeah, she doesn't like tattoos. Just can't stand tattoos. If they smoked, no, she wouldn't like that either. Drink, no, wouldn't like that either. Just color of hair, that'd be another thing. If now, if they're blonde or they got brown hair, they got just natural color hair, I guess you'd say, she might not have a problem with that, I don't guess. But if somebody's, they got pink hair or green hair or blue hair, something like that, they've colored their hair, in her, mind a wild color, she wouldn't like it either. Now, again, I don't care. I mean, I think, like I say, if you like somebody, you like them. If you're attracted to them, you're attracted to them, and it's like, I mean, it shouldn't matter at all, or it doesn't matter to me anyway. And I don't know why it matters to her, but she would be even body, type. If somebody was a little chubby, was a little bigger, she might not say anything to me about it, but she'd say something to somebody. Her and Dad have a conversation about it, and then they'd tell somebody. They would have something to say about, the person's weight, and how they looked, and just I mean, they'd pick them apart. My first girlfriend, beautiful young girl, she was a couple years younger than me, so she was probably, I don't know if she was quite 16 because I think we met, I was 17, so she was probably 15. And beautiful girl, long blonde hair, just, and she was white. She was my color, okay? I mean, not that matters, does to my mom, okay? Doesn't matter to me, but I'm just saying, my mom, has these standards, you'd say. And so she's, blonde hair. I remember if she had blue eyes. She might have had blue eyes. Dang, I ought to remember that, but I don't. Long blonde hair, just beautiful girl. She didn't do drugs, she didn't drink, she didn't sleep around. She was just a good kid, just a really good girl. I give her a promise ring. We had never really got engaged, but I give her, just the promise ring thing you do when you're 17, and we talked about getting married, and I would have married her, but my mom did not like her at all. So I never brought her home. She wanted me. We'd be out driving around, and she'd say, let's go out to your mom and dad's house. Because we live in a small town, so everybody knew my mom, and she owned a fabric shop in town. Everybody knew her, and everybody knew everybody. I mean, you just knew everybody. You knew of them, or you knew something about, there was no secrets, really, and so everybody knew everybody. But this girl would want me to take her to my mom and dad's, and I'm like, no, it wouldn't be good. And I know she got frustrated at me and thought I was just a wuss, for not standing up to my mama. But it wasn't just that. I was a wuss. I ain't going to lie and say I wasn't. I'm not now. I'm very bold now with my mama. Trust me. She will tell you that too. There's nothing I hold back anymore. But, and I didn't hold back the other night when she started telling me about, who I was going to bring home. But anyway, so it wasn't just about that, but I just knew, my mom she was not going to have it. If I went out to her house with this girl that she didn't like, she was going to, embarrass her, maybe hurt her feelings, embarrass me, which I could deal with. She done that a lot of times, but I just knew it was going to be a bad situation, and I hated to put the girl through it, really. And so I never did. And unfortunately, when I went off to college, and she was, like I said, younger, so I wound up breaking it off with her because I didn't feel like we had a future because my mama hated her. And I know it seems crazy, now to think of it, but it's just, it's one of the things. When you're younger, you don't know, and you just think, I want to, I want my parents and her parents to get along and everything. And then her parents were great too. They were just awesome people. But I still are. Her dad's passed away now, but anyway, I always liked her family, her grandparents. I mean, they were just great, But my mama didn't care nothing for her. So anyway, it's just been one of them things. And so here we are. It blew me away at 60 years old that she actually brought that up. That you better not bring home, anybody like this, or whatever. And it's like, really, Mama? Come on. I don't think you got a say in it. And so I may not bring anybody home, but, as far as who I date, I'm going to do who I want to if I date anybody, And I think you should too. So don't let your mama tell you who to date, especially at 60 years old, for crying out loud. Good Lord, what are they thinking? But anyway, I think you should like who you like and love who you love. And if you're looking for love, I know a lot of us have talked about it on this channel. We're alone and we kind of enjoy that. But if you're looking for love, you find it in the right person, and it doesn't matter what color they are, like say what religion they are, what political party they represent, as long as you love them and they love you, and it's not going to get weird or be a problem for them to be on a different side, a different group than what you are and what you believe in. Then go for it. I mean, I've had friends of mine that that came to church, that I went to church with, I never met their wife. And some of them never met their husband. And some of them, maybe they didn't go to church, the spouse didn't. Some of them had a different religion. They didn't believe the way we believe. So, I mean, but they've been married for years, got grown kids, you know. So, I mean, they made it work, you know. And so I think you can do that, and you should do that. No matter what color somebody's hair is, or if they got tattoos or they don't have tattoos, it just, you know, it shouldn't matter. If you love them, you love them. And, you know, we should be less judgmental. I did a video on that here a while back, but being less judgmental towards people, and just you know, as Christians, we should love everybody, regardless of what they look like, or their background, or their, you know, financial. Even that's another thing I didn't mention that. My mom's never really talked about that so much, but you know, that might be a problem too, depending on financial background of somebody. If she knew anything about that, that's a little harder to detect, you know, visually. So, but you know, just there's so many things that people can find wrong with someone else. We can all find stuff wrong with somebody if we want to look hard enough, and we can find plenty wrong with ourselves too. But you know what? God loves all of us the way we are. It doesn't matter. Even if we're just no good, low down sinner, just wallowing in it, guess what? He loves us no matter what. The soldiers at the cross that hung Jesus on the cross, you know what he said to them? Forgive them, for they know not what they do. They didn't ask for forgiveness. He just forgave them, you know. And I'm throwing that in for good measure, but you know, it's just about love. You know, Jesus was about love, and that's what we ought to be about. And anyway, but so you can let me know in the comments below how you feel, and maybe what your mama or daddy would you know, would say about certain people you might date or whatever, but or if they had any rules and restrictions on that. But I hope you're having a great night, and I appreciate y'all being a part of this community and this channel. If you could give us a thumbs up, and if you're not a part of it and you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Turn on notifications, and we try to put out a video fairly often here, and trying to keep this thing going. So having a good night, having a good Friday night. I hope you're having one, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.